bouncing to the next one. So after intellectual, physical, I go into the financial. And again, especially with your story, when I called you to ask you about doing this interview for the month of June for Father's Day, like my little Father's Day interviews, I did not know the story of your divorce. I just happened to see a post and I was like, wait a minute, what is she doing with that guy?
Right.
I was like,
Right.
let me talk to Jonny, see if he wants to get on the show and talk about single dad stuff.
Totally.
So this is where I think knowing you and having an experience with you on the financial side, as like when we first did those videos to where you are now. I've mentioned before just a little while ago, like some of the single dads that I know, when they get kicked in the nuts and like kicked in the nuts financially, they're like, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go work 2 jobs, 3 jobs. And I think a lot of that has to do with experience. So you already had the experience of like running a business, doing the internet thing, and you're like, I can do that again.
I hadn't stopped.
Yeah. So I'm a
shapeshifter. I just changed form.
And you mentioned like when you went through the divorce, like you let her have the businesses and stuff. So do you want to talk about that little transition from, like I said, because for me, it's an interesting thing to say, okay, here's where I was when I was married, the divorce, here's where I'm at now or after, and what that story or what that journey looked like, especially for guys that are watching. They're like, I kind of want to do that. Like, how did he do that? So what was that for you on the financial side?
Well, it sucked. I mean, not everything in this journey that we're on is pleasant. And again, I had to put my literal money where my mouth was. I either believe I am who I believe I am, or I don't. And that means I can follow the advice that everybody gave me, or I can do what I know I need to do, which is the intuition thing.
Yeah.
And so part of this is we didn't get divorced until we had already done the restaurant. Now, what was interesting was she was very much loved being in control of all the things. And so from the very beginning, there was a huge element of that where she was sort of like in charge of all of this stuff. It was all in her name, even the business stuff. Like she was like demanding I would close that stuff down. And obviously that's not preferable. And the fact that I even allowed it to happen is part of the reason why, I was in the situation, but everything works for me.
Yeah.
I'm actually one of the luckiest fuckers you will ever meet. Like it is, I got lucky girl syndrome all over the place. It's kind of cool. And I forgot that for a brief period of time, but we're good now. So what happened was she was like, oh, it's embarrassing what you do.
The internet marketing thing?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's embarrassing making 7 figures a year too. That's gotta suck, right? What a poor person. Well, this is one of these things that I learned later is like, she just says shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, being that I was kind of like, okay, well, I guess if you say something, it's true. And you believe it to be true, not just you're saying stuff to be like destabilizing and manipulative. I was like, that hadn't even occurred to me yet because I had never hung out with a person who did that. And I was like, Well, and again, it's like, I don't want this to sound like I'm speaking negatively of her because I absolutely, all of that was phenomenal for me.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it at the time, but I'm like, well, I guess I have to make a pivot.
Yeah.
And that's when I got into, you know about the vampire site and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I went from kind of, being Jonny Andrews out there on the interwebs, traveling around, speaking on stage, doing other things, launching products and stuff like that. And I literally closed the door on that, went behind the scenes and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just opened up this little thing because I was like, I used to like writing stories as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's all it was. And I started this little vampire site because I saw that Twilight still had some popularity. And I'm like, why not? Let's try it out.
Uh-huh.
which kind of gets into the whole like learn one platform and figure out what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And back in the day, because it was 2011, I got married in 2010. In 2011, it was Facebook, and that was also the time where I had I wrote that book. So I've written, I think, 15 books at this point.
Wow.
Long before AI was even a thing. So this was one that I actually wrote. I wrote myself, launched it. It hit #1 in business and investing. It was called How to Live Debt Free and Wealthy. And it was literally just my story of, being broke and homeless and all this other stuff. And then like the identity theft, losing all I couldn't get a bank account, and all that kind of crap.
Which we have in the
Jesus,
the little videos, and I'll try to tie them together so they go together with what we're talking about.
All right, yes. Well, again, everything's a big cycle because here we are again. Except yay. It's like, Maj, you were right. Should have listened when I was a kid. Right. No, but so all those kind of fun things happened, and I launched this book. And it #1 on business and investing. It was outselling like Dave Ramsey, Susie Orman, Robert Kiyosaki. I got a screenshot somewhere of this. And a couple thousand copies. And it was funny because it got really good reviews, except, wow, this is a great book. I just wish this guy hired an editor. Because I did not. Yeah. I wrote it in 18 hours and I spent 20 minutes checking for comma placement. Right?
Perfect.
Just go.
It's like that quote that Grant Cardone says. He goes, "I'm a best-selling author, not a best
right, not
writing
a best writing author." Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, so I cranked this stuff out, and because I got a degree in English composition and analysis, I don't even really understand why, but like, okay, cool. So I've never had trouble writing. It's just whatever. I hate doing it. It's weird. So yeah, that happened. I actually became probably the #1 person on earth when it came to like an authority on Kindle publishing, and created a product about it and launched that product because, let's go, go back to my roots.
Yeah.
Put it in the Warrior Forum.
Oh, so that's still around?
Oh yeah.
Oh, no shit. Wow.
Oh yeah. Nothing like that world has kind of moved on.
Different, right?
Yeah, very different. But what happened was it ended up blowing up so exceptionally. It did, what was it, like $420,000 in sales in 2 weeks. Just from a tiny little ebook that I then, pinwheeled into a bunch of different things. And she, like you would think, I'm just saying, you would think that kind of production
success
from your significant other would warrant maybe a couple of BJs here and there. That's not what happened. She lost her damn mind, would flip out. She was absolutely screaming and yelling, cold shoulder, like all this kind of stuff, because it was just unreal. So I'm like, all right, this is weird. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never experienced anything like this in my life at this point. And somehow I'm married to this thing.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, well, I guess that, I can't do whatever. So I was like, all right, well, I'll get a business partner who will be the face of the business. That way, you have nothing to yell about.
Yeah.
Knowing full well this was a terrible idea. It didn't work out, but we made 7 figures, as we grew this business and launched books for, mid-level kind of like ClickBank celebrities in the health space. And yeah, it did really well kind of thing. Went and spoke at a bunch of things, and it was just interesting. But then the whole thing fell apart, and I was kind of like, all right, guys, you can keep that. But during that, and then where I kind of, I respected the whole, don't compete with your thing that you made in the first place clause. I was like, all right, whatever. And so I kind of left everybody alone when I'm like, here, you guys just take the thing and go. Again, patterns.
Yeah.
But during that year, I learned how to play golf. No, I also grew the vampire site to reaching a couple million people, and then figured out the framework for it. So I then cookie cuttered that into a bunch of sites. By the way, all those sites are still making money today.
Didn't you sell the vampire
I did.
site? Okay.
After creating a subscription box. Don't do that. Yeah. Don't do that.
He's giving you advice.
I'm giving you, like, whoever you are right now, no, stop it. Don't do it. I did it because I was intellectually curious. And then after I did it, I forgot that, oh yeah, I want to hand this off. It doesn't work like that. Like, now you're beholden to these fools for like months.
Yeah.
And we did 4 Um, 4 full boxes, sold out every month. It was nuts.
Mhm.
And then what happened was COVID and international shipping and all this. And I thank God that happened. I used it as an excuse to be like, well, we got to close the doors.
Yeah, you're all done with it.
Yeah. So I boxed it all up, slammed it together after COVID. I was like, hey, we got this. Here's this big package of stuff. And a local lady was like, oh, I really like this idea. I'm like, you should. It's amazing.
Mhm.
Because it was. Everything about it was cool. And if you're into this kind of stuff and you like that kind of work, a subscription box is perfect. Don't do it. But it was a lot, and I sold it, and I was happy too. And I'm still on the list that I started in the first place, and they're still going. Every day I get another email from these guys.
Uh-huh.
I started that in 2011. It's still going. In 2015, I had done the cookie cutter thing with all the other sites. Those are still going. During COVID, this is where, so I kind of put all that stuff on the back burner and helped the wife start a charcuterie company.
Mhm.